Hello everyone, I'm Heather Dawson, and it's a pleasure bringing you the best of California every week on our show. Well, what are the best kept secrets in LA? And it's not just because of its small town East Coast feel. California Life's Audra Stafford has a taste of what you'll find in Claremont.
These beautiful tree-lined streets and the world-renowned Claremont colleges have earned Claremont its nickname as the city of trees and PhDs. But if you look beyond the books and branches, you'll discover one of the big reasons people keep coming back.
I come here at least 3 times a week.
The food.
You have Eureka, which is super fun to go to. You have Heroes, which is unlike any other hamburger place. And then my favorite place is CK's, where you have the tea with the flowers, and I haven't seen that anywhere else.
And that's not all you'll find to tantalize your taste buds. Cheese Cave is a great place if you need a quick fix.
We do grab-and-go sandwiches that are really super simple with delicious cheese and sometimes a salami and maybe some Cornichon pickle.
And at Packing House Wines,
we have scallops on the dish, we have fries, we have burgers.
As well as lots of small plates that are perfect for sharing and pairing.
The way we've designed our menu, we joke, is the way we like to eat. A little bit of wine, a little bit of food, a little bit of good company makes a great evening.
Claremont is home to dozens of restaurants, among them Bardot, located right here in historic Harvard Square.
Like its namesake, Brigitte Bardot, the restaurant's decor is very glam.
I kind of wanted to do the retro Hollywood look because, again, of the name Bardot. But yet casual, but, you know, sophisticated.
The menu is much the same way.
Japanese scallops seared, and they're served with a carrot puree, the gorgonzola burger, gorgonzola Swiss cheese, and truffle oil aioli on it, on a brioche bun.
And the mouth-watering options don't end there.
We have over 65 restaurants in town, so you can imagine there's quite a bit of choice.
At DoubleTree by Hilton's Orchard restaurant, you can enjoy a wide variety of California fusion cuisine made with locally sourced ingredients.
The vegetables are seasonal, fishes are seasonal, so we try to keep up with what's fresh.
Orchard is a great spot for a leisurely lunch or dinner.
A little quieter, a little less hustle and bustle.
For happy hour, the locals love the lounge at Hotel Casa 425.
We have a lot of shareable items on our menu. One of my favorites that's newer on the menu is a California-style carnitas burrito. So people can bring their friends, sit out in our courtyard.
With so many options to sip and savor,
It's not like anywhere else in Southern California.
it's clear you'll have to let your stomach be your guide. Bringing you the best of California from Claremont, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
And coming up next, tips on how to refresh your home and yard this fall from ACE's home expert joining us in studio. Next, here on California Life. Don't go away. Well, most of us work hard outdoors, landscaping, gardening, and picking out the perfect furniture for our patios so we can soak up that summer sun in our yards. But living on the West Coast means we get to enjoy spending time outside well into the fall. Ace Hardware's home expert, Lou Manfredini, is here to give us some tips on how to refresh your home and yard from a summer to a fall space. Thank you so much for being with us today, Lou.
My pleasure. You're right, you do get to enjoy the outside weather way more than the rest of us.
We're very, very spoiled, and but I'm guilty of neglecting some things,
Right.
and I tend to notice about now. So,
Right.
you know, you've got some great tips on that.
I do. I have a bunch of different things, and this is all things that we can all do. Now, we were talking before the cameras rolled, but you're not really the handiest person, right? But you like things nice. And
Of
you like
course.
so I'm going to start with something that I know that you can do, is replace light bulbs.
I can do that.
Okay, and one of the things that's going on, and this is very common, of course, in California, is the use of LED lights. The thing that's happened with LED lights now is when they first came out, they were super expensive, and there weren't enough options for them that could fit the need of whatever it is you wanted to do. Now, that's not the case anymore. Whether they're dimmable, regular, standard light bulbs like this, the beauty is these things can be on all day. They don't get really hot. They use 80% less electricity than normal, so this is going to save people a ton of money. And these light bulbs under average use can last for like 20 years. So, you know, if you and I were talking about this on TV 5 years ago, this light bulb would have cost $50. You can buy a 4-pack now for like under 20 bucks and never have to change it again.
And you feel good because you know it's good for the environment.
Oh, absolutely.
What are some other things just for the yard
All
that
right,
you
so
can do?
let's jump around a little bit.
Okay.
Over here we're out in the yard, we want to make sure that we're not getting bit by bugs.
Yes.
And so that's a big problem. There's a whole line, if you come to our stores, a lot of different types of products. I just have a bunch of the ACE branded products here that can help you with flying insects, with wasps, with hornets, ants, roaches, those types of things that are bothering you when you're outside. That's an easy spray. If you follow the instructions, you can really take care of it. Jumping around to making sure that your garden looks good. Okay,
Yes.
now we've got to conserve water like crazy
Oh,
here.
we're in a drought, yes.
So whether you're using timers, these are soaker hoses that you can place in. But what happens with this hose is you turn the water on and it literally sweats. And so you place that around bushes or trees or items that you just want to get a little bit of moisture, and it uses very little water. And here in California, a lot of people are using drip irrigation.
Yes.
The problem is that stuff breaks. This is the top of a kit that you can use to go and replace all those fittings. It's a little bit of work, but the thing is, you're costing yourself money, you're wasting water, and you're not feeding your plants, so they don't look good whatsoever. So by doing that, it's going to help make the outside look good. And then speaking of outside, how about some paint?
Yeah, a little bit of paint makes all the difference.
Oh my gosh. This is our line at Clark & Kensington, which is a paint and primer in one, and we have it in both interior and exterior. What's unique about this particular paint is it uses this micro bead technology. So, you know, we're here in the studio. If I was going to fill this studio with basketballs, you could kind of imagine what that would look like. But if I filled it up with little bitty tiny BBs, you'd see the density would be there. Well, it's almost like a powder, and that ceramic coating makes it easy to wash, keep clean, and on the exterior, with the UV protection because of that California sun, whatever color you choose to paint the siding, the front door, the trim, is gonna last.
And also with paint, sometimes it's hard to know the color. I mean,
Right.
what about when you go to the website? Does it just make it easier? Do you have
If you
things
go
on
to,
there?
so, I mean, if you go to our website, you know, choosing colors is something that you need to come into the store. I mean,
Right.
we have all the information about our paints, but those color samples that you're gonna see in our stores are gonna help you break it down for you a little bit, because a splash of color makes a world of difference.
I agree.
Yeah, the whole idea with us, you know, at Ace is we're local, we're in the neighborhood. You know, we don't treat people like a number, you're like a neighbor. One thing, if I can toot our horn, this year we just got the 10th year in a row of the JD Power and Associates Award for Most Helpful Home Improvement Store. And so we're really proud of that because we're a group of local people all across the country just trying to help people in our neighborhoods. So you have any kind of questions when it comes to maintaining your home, you know you can come to us and we'll give you the straight answer.
Well, Lou, thank you so
My
much for
pleasure.
being on our show. And of course, you can always go to the website, and I just appreciate it.
You got
All
it.
good tips.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want to find these products at your local Ace Hardware store, or visit the website acehardware.com.
The state of medicine has never been so top of mind as it is now as we battle through the pandemic. JT Matticus is an author, filmmaker, and YouTube medical personality with an eclectic background in business and medicine that has given him the opportunity to travel the world. During those travels, he studied medicine and was inspired to write his first novel, a medical thriller called Final Diagnosis: No Second Chances.
As a doctor, you need to find the diagnosis. You need to diagnose the patient. I mean, that's why they come in. They come in, they present to you symptoms, and they say, "Doctor, diagnose me." And the no second chances comes into play because a lot of diseases, if you don't diagnose, if you don't come to a final diagnosis, there may not be a second chance. No second chances also refer to the thriller element, the spy element in the novel, where there is a villainous force out there to do harm to the world.
The fast-paced book focuses on fictional doctors while using real-life medical cases to help further the story. With the success of the book, Madicus set out to produce a short promotional video, but it quickly turned into a live-action film with some really cool animated segments.
In, say, promoting the book, I decided to shoot just one scene of the novel. And it kind of blew up, and it ended up being the first, say, 3 chapters of the novel and a full featured film with original music. We did shoots in Poland as well as LA. So we have a very large cast of very talented actors portraying the characters in the novel. So that should be released hopefully end of the year.
And when not writing books or producing movies, Madicus hosts a pair of medical-focused YouTube programs, including Med BuzzFeed, which helps explain complex medical issues in easy-to-understand terms.
The latest on COVID-19, as it is still out there.
I basically give the medical news in layman's term, but also with a bit of explanation, a bit of science behind it, you know. So I don't just say, oh, Lyme disease. I say, well, yeah, Lyme disease, it's a tick-borne illness. And so I get into a little bit of the details, but still understandable.
JT Matticus's book, Final Diagnosis, No Second Chances, is out in paperback. It's available on Amazon. And you can learn more about the No Second Chances film being released soon at nosecondchances.com. And be sure to subscribe to his Med BuzzFeed channel on YouTube. Bringing you the best of California, I'm David Wiley for California Life.
I'm a Korean living in America, and I speak Korean, eat Korean foods, and now balance my Asian and American identities. So does actor, singer, and Broadway star Josh De La Cruz. He struggled at first as a Filipino American, but worked hard to discover his potentials and himself. De La Cruz is now the newest host of Nickelodeon's Blue's Clues and You, and was even called a thirst trap on Twitter. De La Cruz himself is now thirsty for better minority representation in showbiz.
Growing up, we were like a handful. We were a very small handful, and it was odd. And I remember always wanting to fit in.
De La Cruz immigrated to the U.S. when he was 2. His parents are from the Philippines, but De La Cruz was born in Dubai. He had a caring, supportive family, but De La Cruz saw closed doors as an Asian American. He even thought his image wouldn't fit the screens. When working with an all-Asian cast,
we recognize how special it is to be able to work together in this show and to celebrate it and not be a token or not be again a foreigner.
But while he adores working with fellow Asians and Asian Americans, De La Cruz says diversity in showbiz isn't quite diversity.
You know, to say that like we have The King and I is on Broadway, we're celebrating diversity. It's like, no, that's like the Asian show, and then the rest of Broadway is not.
So his newest musical, American Morning, has kept De La Cruz excited.
This is such an important show because it's Asians, Asian immigrants that are in America in present day, which is so rare. Usually if it's an Asian American show or just an Asian show, they're foreigners or it's in the past.
Now with Blue's Clues and You,
I get to celebrate being Asian. Steve Burns pulled me aside, the original host, and he was like, hey man, I don't know if anybody ever talked to you about this, but I wanted you to hear it, that like, we cast you because we love you and we love the things that you're doing and the things that you're bringing. So don't ever feel like you have to replicate.
De La Cruz says Asian Americans struggling with dual identities should follow their moral compass and be proud of where they come from.
What happens when your values are met with this, with the new Western values, the new American values? And is there a way that we can take the best of this and the best of this? Me realizing that, oh, you're Asian, dude, and there's nothing wrong with that, gave me the opportunity now to take that muscle of being, maybe I could be ethnically ambiguous, and to be like, no, well, how can I play that part as me?
Bringing you the best of California, Jenny Huh, California Life HD.
Well, Prince Harry and one of the most handsome men in the world, according to Variety magazine, are teaming up for charity. Here's more from Paul Higgins.
Beyond the Barn is proud to be your new entertainment resource when it comes to equestrian horse riding sports, events, and activities. In the minutes ahead, we provide an overview to the positive and quality programming content that Beyond the Barn will feature as we travel the world, bringing you the very best equestrian has to offer. We shoot high as we start off with none other than Prince Harry, traveling to Palm Beach for his special charity event, the Centavali Royal Salute Polo Cup. Here's a slice of that event in addition to what you can expect on our first season of Beyond the Barn. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins. Well, just moments from now, these gates will open and Prince Harry will be playing polo in support of his charity. And his charity will raise millions of dollars for children with HIV and AIDS. It's a very special event. I hope you can enjoy it with us from here in Wellington. I'm Paul Higgins.
The most important thing today is that we are changing thousands of kids' lives, kids from 10 to 19 that have HIV. And I've been to Lesotho, I've been there, I've seen the work that Sentivali has done. I've been in the grounds with Harry. I know how committed he is to this cause, and that's why, you know, for me it's inspiring, and it's an honor that I can be an ambassador for his charity.
I really hope that all of you here tonight are not here just because it's such a wonderful event, but because you want to help some of the world's most vulnerable children and to give them the childhood and ultimately the future that they deserve. Thank you.
Yes, the intended meaning of helping children in need was successful, a memorable event at the Valiente Polo Farm. While Prince Harry and the Sentivali charity event was our initial focus, our attention broadened. Our future coverage will include a candid interview with Brandon Phillips, who plays for Annabelle Garrett's postage stamp farm team. Brandon lives every day to its fullest. He talks of his near-death encounter at 14 years old with a cancerous tumor, his switch from hockey in Canada to his love for polo, plus the incredible charity work he does with young boys and girls in the Wellington area. Annabelle Garrett also sits down with us to discuss the teasing from Phillips that resulted in Garrett switching from show jumping to polo. She's never looked back and is now all in. Annabelle was a gracious host in sharing with us the spectacular equestrian world that Wellington has to offer. It's really the place to be, as Annabelle demonstrated. Plus, in our programming to come, we'll introduce you to the owners of the Wellington National Golf Club, Chip Smith and Doug Marty. Why golf when our focus is equestrian? We ask the same question, and the answer is rather unique. Chip and Marty are combining the lifestyle of golf and equestrian that occurs throughout the Wellington and Palm Beach area. They emphasize their commitment to bring the two together, showcasing a demonstration on the 18th fairway at Wellington National Golf Club. It was fascinating, and the events they have planned for the near future will be spectacular. We can't wait to share it with you. We have much more in store for you, including a series of interviews and features highlighting some very special riders in the Wellington area. The future is in the young athletes that have embraced their respective disciplines. Their commitment, skill, and vision is definitely worth sharing. That, to be honest, is just the beginning of what you can expect in Season 1 of all the positive programming we have to offer in the equestrian world on Beyond the Barn.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, please go to our website, CaliforniaLifeHD.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.